For tonight's homework, we're going to prepare for lesson 2.1, which is about the Wump family. You're probably wondering what the Wumps are, so let's get right to it. Zach and Marta's computer game involves a family called the Wumps. The members of the Wump family are various sizes, but they all have the same shape. That is, they are similar. Mugwump is the game's main character. The other members of the Wump family will be created from applying rules to Mug's coordinates. So the rule for Zug is 2x, 2y. So you multiply each of Mug's coordinates by 2. The rule for Lug is 3xy. So you multiply Mug's x coordinate by 3 and keep the y coordinate the same. The rule for Bug is 3x, 3y. So you multiply each of Mug's coordinates by 3. And the rule for Glug, the last character here, is x, 3y. So you keep the x coordinate the same and multiply Mug's y coordinate by 3. So now we're going to go through how to do the coordinates. Again, it's really important that you come to class with coordinates ready to graph. So now we're going to start creating the coordinates, and so this is going to take a little bit of work. Basically, you need to know that Mugwump's character right here, all of those coordinates are going to be the ones that you use and apply the rules to. So you're going to be referring back to this column a lot. So looking first at Zug. So Zug is 2x, 2y. So I'm going to take each of Mugwump's coordinates and I'm going to multiply by 2. So the x times 2 and the y times 2. So in this case I have 0 times 2 makes 0, and 1 times 2 makes 2. Next point, 2 times 2 makes 4, 2 times 1 makes 2. Next point, 2 times 2 makes 4, 2 times 0 makes 0. Next point, 3 times 2 makes 6, 0 times 2 makes 0. So again, I'm going to keep filling all these in here, so take a moment and fill those in. And next we're going to look at Lug. So Lug is made a little bit differently. Lug is made with 3xy. So in this case, we're going to multiply the x coordinate by 3 and leave the y coordinate alone. So in this case, I have 0 times 3 makes 0, and I keep the same y, so it's just going to be 1. Second one, I have 2 times 3 makes 6, and then I keep the same y value. Third one, 2 times 3 makes 6, keep the same y value of 0. Next one, 3 times 3 makes 9, and I keep the same y value of 0. So go ahead and fill the rest of that column in, and then check back for Bug. So now with Bug, I have 3x, 3y. So again, I'm referring back to Mugwump's coordinates here. 3x, 3y means I'm multiplying both coordinates by 3. So 3 times 0 is 0, 3 times 1 is 3. Next one, 3 times 2 is 6, 1 times 3 is 3. Next one, 2 times 3 is 6, 0 times 3 is 0. And next we have 3 times 3 is 9, and then I'm doing 0 times 3 is 0. So again, you're going to continue down in Bug's column here. Again, you're multiplying both coordinates by 3. And now let's go ahead and wrap up with Glug. So Glug, I keep the same x coordinate, so I do nothing to the x coordinate. I simply multiply the y coordinate by 3. So in the first one, I keep the 0, and then I'm going to do 1 times 3. That gives me 3. Next coordinate, I keep the y value, or I'm sorry, I keep the x value 2, and then I do 1 times 3 makes 3. Next one, keep the x, 2, the y is times 3. 0 times 3 is 0. Next one, keep the x, which is 3. 0 times 3 is 0. So go ahead and fill in the rest here for glug. So I'm hoping you're getting the trend of how to fill in the different coordinates and that you'll be ready to go. Again, in case you need just a little bit more help, the rules need to continue just the same with part 2, part 3, and part 4. So again, zug, we're doing 2x times 2y, so both coordinates times 2. Right, so in part 2, the first coordinate should be 4, 4, right, because 2 times 2, and then another 2 times 2. The next one, I have 6 times 2 would be 12, and then 2 times 2 would be 4. Right, so again, keep practicing filling all of those in for each part. Again, lug is going to have 3xy, so that first coordinate, the x coordinate, is going to be multiplied by 3. The y stays the same. So I'm going to do 2 times 3 makes 6, and then the y stays the same. Next one, 6 times 3 makes 18. Y stays the same, so 2. So again, go ahead and fill all of those in. And then for bug, 3x, 3y, so both coordinates being multiplied by 3. So 2, 2 is going to become 2 times 3 is 6, and 2 times 3 again is 6. Second one, 6 times 3 is 18, 2 times 3 is 6. So go ahead and fill in the rest for bug. And then lastly, we have glug. So remember glug, you keep the same x coordinate, you're going to multiply the y coordinate by 3. So x is 2, stays at 2, 3 times 2 is 6. Next one, 6 stays the same, 2 times 3 is 6. So go ahead and fill in the rest for glug. So please make sure your entire page is filled with coordinates. So again, when we get to class on Monday, you'll be able to start graphing and thinking about these different family members. The challenge comes because some of these family members are going to be very similar to mugwump. Some of them, when you graph them, you're going to notice that they're not quite as mathematically similar. We're going to call them imposters. But you'll learn more about that on Monday. See you then.